Peace, says Divinity here, and today we want to talk about 3 animals that are fake. You know what I'm saying? 3 animals that they basically, or species and shit that they basically lied to us about so they can create more revenue for their family, notoriety for themselves, and we still fall for the gimmick today. So they therefore put themselves in history. And so that's what we're going to talk about. So here we go.
Yeah, 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 oh, I do. Yeah, 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 oh, I do. Adinyale kowo si ye ye otoro efa. Ariwo yo, I do. Adinyale kowo si. Yeah, 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 oh, I do. Yeah, 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 oh, I do. Adinyale kowo si ye ye otoro efa. Ariwo yo, I do. Adinyale kowo si maro panga maro.
Dile maro panga.
Maro.
Dile maro panga.
Maro.
Dile maro panga.
Laura.
Dile maro
Irele
panga.
kitileko.
Dile maro panga.
Pangana.
Dile maro panga.
Laura.
Dile maro panga.
Maro.
Dile maro panga.
Maro.
Dile maro panga.
Laura.
Are we ready for our talk about panda bears? Are pandas real? When you look, why do these pandas look like they're posing for a boy band album cover? See, this is how you just start. And guys, I've been doing panda jokes for a long time. Whenever I think that something is fake, I hate it, and I don't know why. Do you guys want to get into it? All right, so let's watch a few. Should we find that stand-up? I used to talk about like how the panda wouldn't fuck to save themselves, where it's like, I only eat bamboo. It's like, hey panda, we got a bunch of fish for you. Is it bamboo? No, then I don't want to eat it. Hey panda, we got this hot panda chick. We need you to make more pandas. He's like, I'm sleepy. I sleep 23 hours a day.
Alright, he might be talking about, you know, like he a comedian as well. I don't know. His name is, I guess, Owen Benjamin, right? But he might be talking about some shit that don't matter, but still he make a lot of good points, you feel me? So this is more so why I got this video planned. Oh.
Guys, a panda bear gestates. Do you know how many days a year a female panda ovulates? I'll ask the chat. Hey chat, how many days a year does a female panda ovulate? How many do you think? Total. You know how a human woman ovulates 3 days, 1 potentially, but 3 if you have sperm that isn't gay. 3 days a month. How many do you think they ovulate a year? 1. They ovulate 1 day a year. They sleep like 20 hours a day. They pee upside down. They have no ability to fight back against predators. They're guys, they're not real. I'm just going to cut to the chase. Pandas are fucking bullshit. Right, watch this. By the way, Amy, I could... This is the first time Amy said, I was with you and how dare you. Like, at first she was mocking me for the panda stuff. She was like, I was with you. How dare you go after the pandas? Because it made her... Because she knows they're fake now. Just wait. Just wait till we're done with the video. Right now, you're already thinking, what the fuck is Owen talking about again? I can prove to you that pandas were never a living species in the wild. Watch this. Guys, they're not. I'm
not joking. I hope this shit don't seem like a nigga joke. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like he gonna make further points, but like, no, this just he did as real though. I mean, he's saying some right shit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I think many times they are midgets being paid in booze, in outfits. Swear to God, I think that. Oh, how dare you? There's no way that's ever been done. Okay. Tainan fake panda incident has already happened. An incident at a private zoo in Taiwan where a sun bear was painted black and white and falsely presented to visitors as a giant panda. Let's check out some information about panda bears. Panda bears. Bear in mind, it's the symbol of, a lot of nasty stuff. It's World Wildlife Federation. The panda, with its black and white coat, is adored by the world and considered a national treasure of China. Interesting. Are panda bears dangerous? No.
China is number 2 on the list for sex trafficking, literally. So, that symbolism is already clear as day right for that for me.
All right, so all right, where's the giant panda Wikipedia? Let's just read about it, and then we'll watch more funny videos. The giant panda. Interesting facts. I'm gonna show the people video. Bear. I can't read this bullshit. They. By the way, they first came to America. I did this on a live stream. I was first talking about pandas being fake, almost jokingly, until I realized what they were, and I said, I guarantee they came to America in 1947. Take a guess when America. By the way, this was live on a stream. You can go verify it. I called it within a year. The first panda was brought to America in 1946. The first panda was ever witnessed in the wild in the late 1800s by a Jesuit who found a patch of fur. There's no ancient descriptions of pandas in any Chinese history whatsoever. Before the late 1800s, there was no record of the existence of pandas. Just like dinosaurs. Oh, how dare you? Oh, doesn't believe in dinosaurs. There was a giant amount of fraud happening all around the same time. Right after Darwin, all true.
This is why I got the dinosaurs coming up next. I forgot the man's name, but I'll probably up on the screen. But he was the one that founded the idea of the whole fossil shit, or what a dinosaur would look like if they put the bones and shit together. A fossil, mind you, is the minerals around the bone that compose and made such and such, like image of the shit. A person finding bones and then constructing some shit, that's something totally fucking different. So it's a whole little scam. And then on top of that, for them dinosaurs, I swear we're gonna get into it later. But the shit that you see on display, if you go to a museum, they'll tell you and let you know it's fake and that the real bones is downstairs in the basement. So it's just a whole bunch of fuckery going on. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, back to the pandas.
True. After Darwin, they started obsessing over categorizing animals. Is there depictions of lions, tigers, monkeys, giraffes, rhinos, all documented, everyone knows. Even way down in bumfuck Africa, everyone knew the animals. China is a 4,000-year-old nation, and it's one of the most literate nations in the history of the world. There was no reference ever to panda bears. What? Oh, I'm getting scared. How could they? Oh, invention is crazy. Do I think that there is a quote-unquote animal that's a panda bear? It might be like a highly bred Chihuahua, where a bunch of really, really twisted Chinamen started breeding in captivity and fucking with like sun bears until they got real creepy looking. I don't believe they can breed in captivity.
You don't know what a sun bear is, though? Look at a sun bear. That shit is some crazy shit, and it's a breed of 2 different damn animals, but a sun bear is crazy.
Or in the wild. The penalty for killing a panda is death. No one's ever seen them in the wild. Literally, no one alive has ever seen them in the wild. Me and Amy looked into how we can meet a panda. How can we work with a panda? How can we, just like a lot of people are donating their time and energy to building Ursa Rio, how can someone donate their time to helping pandas? They're endangered, aren't they? You can't. And you know why? You can always see it in the lie. The lie reveals the big lie. They say that a human being cannot be around a panda bear. Can anyone guess in the chat? Why? I'll give you a hint. It's on top of another lie. I'm going to see discernment skills. Why can't human beings ever touch a panda? Yeah, viruses. That there is a human to panda virus. Well, it's interesting because almost every world leader is always photographed holding pandas. How does that make sense? See, understand, it starts sounding crazy and then you start laughing. Okay, no one's allowed to interact with a panda in any zoo, no petting zoo, nothing. You can't volunteer to train, nothing. Zero. Have you ever heard of any bullshit like that ever? Oh, it's because there's so few. No. There's enough where every world leader poses with them. Watch this. Literally everyone. Tell me, okay, this animal would never, ever, ever survive in the wilderness. Watch this.
Like a drunk nigga, boy. I ain't gonna lie.
I swear to God, I think that's a person in an outfit. Owen Benjamin's a cult leader. Okay, whatever. Watch that again. Guys, China had tigers. Crouching tiger, hidden, whatever the fuck. China has predators. Every animal in the wild is really, really strong. That bear never lived in the... Okay, it only eats not a real animal. If you spend any time in nature, you know pandas are bullshit. They only eat bamboo. I'm about to get to the best part, guys. Its attack pose is to drop its head. When threatened, a panda drops its head. And this is how I know it's about Spellcast. What do you think a group of pandas is called? Officially. An embarrassment of pandas. You know,
I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Like, while I'm saying it right now, but that shit should be on the screen. He's not lying about that shit. They did that's called a group of embarrassment. That is
it's like
wild.
A gaggle of geese, a murder of crows, a herd of goats. It's called an embarrassment of pandas. Look it up. That's not bullshit. The official name of a group of pandas is an embarrassment. Like, hey, look, it's an embarrassment of pandas. You want to know why? Because no one's ever seen a group of pandas because they don't exist. It's not real. Pandas are a satanic joke. It's a joke. Black eye symbol. It's like...
You heard what he said? Well, so he read a comment?
It's a group of pandas.
And put it in his edit?
It's not real. Pandas are a satanic joke. It's a joke. Black eye symbol. It's like it's a sick joke. People are just going to ooze with gravy from this one. It ain't real. The eyes are robotic moving. Guys, it's like... And people get so mad at you. It's just like Flat Earth where they're like, I saw a panda. Was it sleeping? Was it sleeping? Yeah, they're always sleeping. Pandas are fake, yeah. Watch this. Watch this.
Hidden in the mountains on the border with Vietnam is one of China's best-kept treasures. This is the story of an evolutionary enigma, a living fossil that has captivated us for over a century, the giant panda. Today we are going to take you on a surprising journey into the heart of the giant panda's natural habitat.
Those are people in outfits.
What we can do to save this extraordinary and complex animal.
Money, money, money.
This rare creature receives...
By the way, guys, if anybody says, why would anyone fake a panda? $1 trillion?
Honestly, for all of the animals that I'm about to try to do, I mean, that's going to be on this video, it'll all go down to the same shit, money, bro. You make money off of this type of shit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
There was a whole industry in the 1800s where they were faking all these animals, including dinosaurs, because, like, they didn't have television or internet or anything, so they needed to do spectacles to get people to go watch it. They faked pandas, in my opinion. Odds are 99.9%. These are not real animals. You would never see an animal going, "Arr!" in the wild. They'd be dead. They'd be extinct. Guys, elk are going down in number where I live because of wolves. These pandas allegedly lived in the same areas as tigers. Look at this. This is all money and power stuff.
Around the world, a measure of how much the panda has captured public imagination. An icon of rapidly expanding China, the panda has also become the symbol of the world's endangered species.
Unbelievable. Pandas are bullshit. It's bullshit. Pandas are federal agents and work for the. That's hilarious. If anybody here, guys, I don't care what people say about me. I really don't. If people think this isn't Joe Rogan on DMT in a panda costume, it's a hysterical joke.
From the rest on, though, he's just making his
I'm not gonna
point,
say I
showing
love
more
your work.
videos
I've
and
done
shit
that in
like
the
that.
past,
But
and I regret it because I don't.
he's definitely correct on a lot of the shit he's saying. He definitely correct. It definitely was a scam, taking it even basically happened in the 1800s. But we gotta go on to the next one right now. So here we go. All right, here we go. The next thing we're doing is the birds aren't real, and then we're gonna go to the last person, the founder of one of the world's largest scams, aside from the pandas, the man who created the dinosaur. But here we go. The birds aren't real. This was on the news. I forgot what news station, but they're gonna show some real shit. So here we go.
All right, maybe you've seen the billboard near the Highland Strip or heard the story on Wednesdays Live at 9. A campaign called Birds Are Not Real brings its efforts to the Mid-South.
And this morning we are joined by one of the messengers.
Her, not the deposit, but her, she's gonna get so defensive when the guy's explaining what he's explaining, and then he's gonna have to come in, him right here, Mr. Boxface, gonna have to come in and try to switch the, the narrative, help her for real, because she actually got her emotions, just starting to speak. I ain't gonna lie to you. Here we go.
Of the movement, Peter McIndoe is here to tell us how this all came about. We want to emphasize you were not the founder.
No, ma'am.
So how did you become aware of it? What is the message of the movement?
The message of the movement is essentially to spread awareness that from 1959 through 2001, the government mercilessly genocided over 12 billion birds and simultaneously replaced them with surveillance drones in disguise that film us every day as equally as these cameras are filming us right now.
So what do you have to back that up?
To back that up, I have as much evidence as the birds have provided. There's so much.
So this is really satire. I mean, you don't really believe that that happened, correct? This is a satirical campaign.
And this is how it started, because he said this is satire, yada yada yada. And she's gonna say, I thought you said in the back room you said it was supposed to be satire, and he's saying he never said that. So she got to looking like a liar. So ever since then, she just kind of was putting fire on fire, damn near, I guess.
To make the point that what? You're looking at me like, no, it's not satire. I really do believe this.
Honestly, it's kind of offensive.
Okay. So it's not satire.
I don't think you would say that if I said birds are real. You know? I don't know why the other side of the argument can't be treated with equal respect.
Except that before we came out on air, you said this is a satirical message. So what is
I never said that.
So what point are you trying to make here? I mean, and why did this movement come about and how?
Well, this movement came about in 1976, just to avoid any, liberal media hit job. This didn't start with me. This started in 1976, when whispering started coming about from the White House, saying that birds were in the process of being murdered on a mass level. When this started coming about, that's when the movement began. This movement is reactionary. We really didn't start this. The government started this.
How come it took so long to get billboards up and for any of us to hear about this?
That's an excellent question. So really before the internet age, before the internet era, it was very easy to censor ideas and opinions that aren't popular and that people don't agree with.
Another video, I'm sorry again for pausing it, but this Project Mockingbird, I gotta make a video on Project Mockingbird. Long story short, long story short, that's when they passed a law for them to be able to make propaganda, like you can't get sued or basically nothing like that. You can't get fucked up in law for putting lies out on the media. There's been hella reporters that's been trying to cover that especially back in the day, because that's when it all happened. That's why now we're in the age of it, but they already done fucking got away with it. But it was a reporter. She was basically speaking on that because it's been laws passed. She's been finding some more shit. So it was a whole deeper story on how they even got away with making lies and actually going and having a set. One of them was a war, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't Afghanistan. It was a certain part of Africa, I think South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. And they filmed it like they was really at war and shit like that. So then they put it on the news, and she basically got and found information on how that was actually false. And it was just like on the set, they used cameras and they basically made it seem like it was a real documentary. It was just basically fake. So that's another video I want to get onto. It's called basically Project Mockingbird. There we go.
Now that we have the internet, there are no more book burnings, there are no more censored television ads.
Well, there are attempts to do all of that, but you're right. It's like Arab Spring. It's very grassroots, ground
So where does
up.
this movement go from here?
From here, we're looking to see change in legislation. We're looking to see a mass spread awareness.
Are lawmakers, though, really taking this seriously? Because a lot of people...
Grass. All right. I'm sorry. I don't want to, because I've seen all of these shits before, but this is just not catching. This is the way she's been speaking. It's just always been throwing me ever since I saw it the first time. All right. So if you understand the aspect of how the pyramids was built, it's a diamond shape. That's been a long fact, but it's also been hidden. It's a diamond. It's the same shape also under the ground, because when you start, you built under the ground. When you stand upright on earth, you were basically looking down at space. So same above, up above, I forgot how the fucking phrase go, but up is actually down and down is actually up. So she said grass, which is, and just peep the order. She said grass, dirt, roots, and up, or some shit like that. She said it's a cycle, but it's just the way that she, I don't know, maybe I'm going too deep into it right now. Skip it if I'm talking too much, but it threw.
Will have their doubts or have their questions about whether or not the movement is really serious or not.
Yeah, that's been a really hard part of this, honestly. Since the billboard's gone up, there's been a reaction of supporters and loyal bird truthers coming out, saluting, bowing. It's almost become like a sacred pilgrimage to see it. Others, though, seem to have some kind of laugh response, and it really pains me.
So on the website, there are T-shirts you can buy. There's products you can buy. There are going to be some skeptics who say, they're just trying to sell T-shirts. They're just trying to make money. Where do the funds that the movement makes from the sale of T-shirts go? Where does that go?
I would say every movement, go to any political website, they are all equally selling merchandise to spread and support.
Oh, okay, so the money is used to continue to buy the billboards, for instance.
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah. It's to fund movement efforts, to fund activism and public awareness.
All right, Peter, we appreciate you being with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was the video. If I have to go deep into this video, I know it should be more common that people should know that a lot of these birds, majority of birds you even see on a daily basis, on a regular basis, fake in general, have been replaced. But we can go on to that on a later topic, like a further video onto that. But we're gonna go into the next video, which is the founder of the dinosaur.
The date of this video's upload, the 20th of July, marks the 213th birthday of Sir Richard Owen. This man, famous in the scientific world for founding the Natural History Museum in London, as well as giving the name dinosaur to those intriguing beasts, was a complex individual with a shady reputation, yet he was still a remarkable man who contributed a great deal to science. Born in Lancaster, England in 1804, he was the son of a West Indian merchant, but soon developed an interest in anatomy. He was apprenticed to a surgeon and performed many post-mortems on deceased people from the local prison. Later, Owen attended university as a medical student, but afterwards, instead of starting a professional career, he decided to work on anatomical research. Owen was made assistant curator of the Royal College of Surgeons' Hunterian collections in 1827, and his first few jobs in museums allowed him to gain an incredible knowledge of anatomy, as well as a good reputation amongst other scientists. Eventually he became a Fellow of the Royal Society and would give lectures that many important people went to, including the young Charles Darwin. Owen published many scientific papers throughout his lifetime, describing all sorts of aspects of anatomy, including studies of animal teeth, studies on limbs, and detailed descriptions of vertebrates, both living and extinct. Then, he famously described the remains of 3 large prehistoric reptiles, grouping them together in a new order called Dinosauria. Owen became a greatly admired man, so much so that Prince Albert even asked him to tutor the royal children, and the royal family gave him a cottage in Richmond Park. He was also asked to help reconstruct models of extinct animals, including dinosaurs, for the famous Great Exhibition in 1851. Later, in 1856, when he became superintendent of the Natural History Department of the British Museum, he began developing a plan to move the natural history collections out of the British Museum and into their own building, which eventually led to the creation of the Natural History Museum in London in 1881. However, Richard Owen has a tarnished reputation today for a reason. He is considered by some to be a villain of natural history, as he had been blamed for not giving credit where it was due, as well as stealing specimens from people and writing anonymous articles making other people look bad, but praising his own work. But he is mostly known as a controversial figure for his disputes with Charles Darwin and his supporters. He battled with Thomas Henry Huxley, a great advocate of Darwin's work, in the years after the publication of On the Origin of Species. This led to Owen becoming seen as an anti-evolutionist. However, this is not quite a fair view of his position. Earlier on in his life, Owen had believed that species did not change over time, and that each organism had been perfectly designed by God to suit its environment. However, he later decided that all of the vertebrates must have had the same common basic body structure, which he called the archetype. Then over time, the archetype would change into the various forms of vertebrates, leading to the huge biodiversity seen today. So Richard Owen did accept a form of evolution, but his adversary with Huxley caused him to appear more anti-evolution than he really was. Although Owen had helped Huxley early on, he began to feel threatened by the younger man, and Huxley also seemed to want to undermine Owen's work. They had great disagreements about the human race's place in nature, with Owen trying to maintain that humans were somehow special and different, whereas Huxley was pointing out the similarities between humans and other apes. Owen also had confrontations with another important scientist, Gideon Mantell. Mantell had described and named the dinosaur Iguanodon in 1825, but Owen later credited himself as the discoverer of Iguanodon, refusing to accept that his work was based on Mantell's, and implying that Mantell had been incompetent in his descriptions. It has also been suggested that Owen may have attempted to stop many of Mantell's papers from being published by using his power within the Royal Society. Then, after Gideon Mantell died in 1852, Owen wrote an anonymous obituary for him that claimed many of his scientific work and discoveries as unimportant, and implied that Mantell was neither a great scientist nor had made any meaningful contribution to science. Sir Richard Owen retired at the age of 79 and lived in a house provided to him by Queen Victoria, before dying in 1892 aged 88. He outlived many of his peers, including Darwin, but he also lived longer than both his wife and son. Despite Owen's unpleasant character, he was still a remarkable scientist with a great knowledge of anatomy, who made some significant contributions to the field of biology. And of course, he is the man responsible for the fantastic Natural History Museum in London, as well as being the creator of the Terrible Lizards, an iconic name for a very iconic group of animals. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you...
Alright, so there we go. My whole collection of that shit, you can call me awful close. Is, man, first of all, the building itself, the buildings like they not even built like that no damn more. So to even have that type of structure get built for you, he was next to some deep ass knowledge, clearly. But he was already close enough to be able to work with bones, the regular animals, and then, like I said, he was working in a museum. In museums, they tell you to keep the actual fat ass bones and shit in the basement. Either way, and then the structure that you see is some shit that they supposedly made up for a category of things. So it's it could be a whole bunch of different shit. That could be a goddamn dragon head put on a body of different hella big ass shit with the ankles of us and shit. It could vary. But either way, so he took that idea. He also took some bones. They said that in the video as well. He took, they let him, he moved and he took some shit with him. So, and then he came up with all of these great ass ideas and shit like that and started stealing from other people, tarnishing other people's name, which was a trait people had did back then just to make their name better and make their lineage and gain more money and notoriety and shit like that. They just tarnish other people's name. So he just seemed like somebody that was already close into some fashion, some type of that, and did what he did. Had another way to make his own money and keep his family going. So that's why, a whole bunch of this shit, man. So it's just a scam for people to keep their family good, lies made. It's crazy. We gotta be like Laura Croft. We gotta find the truth out. I mean, they fight for themselves and shit, and we gotta fight for each other. So it's a crazy ass game. But I thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Next video coming out soon. Fierce Divinity. I leave as I come. Peace.